Ask Tom on Home Show.
Patrick from Elliott City, Maryland, has some cupping concerns.
Well, he had his oak flooring installed in March, and now it's doing this. Can you see it? The wavy floor. Patrick writes, it was all sanded and finished, and the contractors left the door open regularly back in March and April. And subsequent to that, the doors were closed, the AC was running, and in August we noticed cupping in the new wood. And we ran, and even though they ran 2 dehumidifiers for a month, no success, and the humidity is about 40 to 43%. The contractors said that he would either pay for the repair of our choice. He says one guy said to him, take the money and don't fix it. The other contractor said he would sand it out and refinish it. Yeah, right. Learn to like the cupping, keep the money. This is, there's a quality contractor right there. So
our country's falling apart. Okay, I'm going to go down a whole different road if I'm not.
No. Come back. Okay, all right. Okay. So what would your advice be on the floor?
I'd fix it, and I would stay away from a urethane, and I would use a wax finish. So what's happening is there's a little key comment in that question that says the contractors left the door open. When you put a wood floor in for finishing, what you do is you put it in an air-conditioned home and you let it sit for at least 7 to 15 days, and you check the moisture content. You want it less than 7%, really down to 2 would be great. But to leave it open and let it all swell up and then put the finish on there and then start to acclimate it with the air conditioner, it's going to do weird things. The top's going to stay solid because it's got a urethane on there. The bottom has no finish, and that's why engineered floors that are finished on all sides are more stable. So the bottom's going to move up and down and shrink and swell and shrink and swell, and the top's going to fight it, so it starts to cup and buckle and cup and buckle. And so the whole process of them putting it in was a problem. What needs to happen is it needs to be sanded, and then you go ahead and acclimate the house and get the moisture content down to where it's going to be on a regular basis. Put the finish on, let the finish cure, and leave it there. But don't use a urethane, because if you use a wax, and a lot of people don't, they think urethane's the end all, and it's not. A wax will breathe, and it'll let the wood expand and contract evenly across the grains, and you don't get any cupping. When I was building houses and people wanted a traditional wood floor, and they wanted a urethane finish, I refused to do it. I would have them find their own people, put it in, because I knew they were going to get cupping. And I would say, I'm only going to put it in if it's waxed. I was kind of being a prima donna pain. I was younger then. And every time they would call me back and they were always very nice. They would say, Tom, you were right. It's cupping on me. And sometimes you just feel it. Sometimes it really bothers people. Sometimes it gets real bad. But it just happens that way. I don't like urethane on a floor unless it's an engineered floor and it's finished on all the sides. Then it's encased, and then it works out fine.
Yeah. Now, is there a lot more maintenance to that when you have that waxed floor as opposed to, imagine the urethane's appealing because it takes a lot less maintenance. How often do you have to re-wax it, or how do you take care of a waxed floor?
It just gets buffed up once in a while, every few years. You just go around and buff it. You clean a floor anyway. You take all that chemical and you put it on there, and people do all kinds of things to their wood floors. But quite frankly, I never had anybody complain. For some reason, people say, oh, you got to buff it up every 3 months. You got to do this, you got to do that. You really don't. And here's the beauty of a waxed floor. If you get an area that gets worn and damaged, you can just wax and buff that area up and it'll blend into the rest of the floor. If you get a worn area, and it will wear on a urethane too, like say a hallway or a heavy traffic area and a urethane, you have to take that all down and you have to re-lap with all new urethane the entire house, or you will see the difference every time you look at the floor. I think a wax floor is, in a long run, less maintenance, less money, and it gives you a softer, a really good looking floor. And that's why it's always been the mainstay in the wood floor. This urethane stuff is okay for engineered floors, but not for traditional floors. And I want to make that difference very clear.
Mm-hmm. I got a new backpack. It has this leather piece on the back of it.
Yeah.
And one of the things that came with it was this little maintenance piece here on how to take care of the leather. And and I'm telling you, what I didn't know, and it kind of goes to your point about buffing out the wax, is that when it gets scuffed, that says there, go take a hairdryer, warm it up, and work it just like a baseball glove, and the scratches will come out of it. So it's the same thing. It comes back to everything else you and I talk about all the time on here. A natural, holistic solution is always better than a mechanical, forced solution in everything, and that's what it sounds like here.
Well, I agree. And what happens is when you take that little buffer, and you can buy a little inexpensive buffer and just go around. You don't need that big thing they use in the the basketball courts and stuff. You're not looking for one of those things you drive on the ice.
A Zamboni?
Zamboni. Sorry. You get a little one. You can buy a little one, and you buff up a little area that looks a little dull. What happens is, just like we were saying, Charlie, instead of a hairdryer, the buffing motion heats it up naturally. And then the wax just kind of spreads. You don't have to put any down unless you're repairing an area. It just respreads and evens out the wax that's already there.
You get a Zamboni yet.
Zamboni, yeah. I drove one once. It's very weird.
Zamboni Mini, yeah, because they steer from the back. It's like almost like driving a forklift, right?
Well, and I do. And in fact, I was driving a forklift today. So, yes.
Okay. All right. Well, I think we got about as far afield of this one as we possibly could.
Yes.
So with that, we'll say if you have a question, click on the Ask Tom button, send it in. Guess what will happen? You fill out this form. The question comes in here. The answer comes out right here on our videos. We post new ones at HomeShowRadio.com, where you find a lot of other useful information, including all of our Home Show pros. And we put them on our YouTube channel. And if you would be so kind as to give us a thumbs up on those, maybe even subscribe, we'd sure appreciate it.